Thank you for watching us on YouTube. But did you know that if you're on the go, you can get the full show as a podcast now? You can get our morning breakdown of the most important topics facing our country, news not being covered by the mainstream media, interviews with change-making progressives, and info on what you can actually do about all this. Search for The Damage Report on your favorite podcast app and subscribe so you know when new episodes are ready to go. This show is about facing, without too much fear, the actual threats facing us. And one is the threat to our sanity. And the way that politicians, especially Trump, are communicating about policies it's no longer within radio contact of reality. They speak as the insane do. And we have a great example of that with Donald Trump at his Evansville rally in Indiana last night. He was talking about socialism, because every single Democratic candidate is a socialist. We know that, that's been true for a long time. Listen to the way he describes their plans.
And they want to raid Medicare to pay for socialism.
I have to assume that the booing you heard was people saying, that doesn't make any logical sense, boo!
I mean, you could just say socialism. It's just so bizarre. Obviously, let's, okay.
Can I get a napkin
like
to wipe?
saying,
brain is coming out of my ears. I'd like to wipe away some of the brain.
Yeah, here, just tuck that back in. Ugh. No, seriously though, like raiding Medicare to pay for socialism is like saying they want to raid your fridge to make dinner. Yeah. Can you believe that? Look at it.
What I thought of was
There's
food related too.
There's sides and turkey. Looks pretty good, but they're raiding the fridge. Like what?
How dare they?
How dare they?
And at dinner time.
I know.
Yes, it makes absolutely no sense. And yet, as is like we had a few weeks ago, we had when you go to the supermarket, you gotta use photo ID, and everyone's in the crowd's just like, I like this president. That's attached to reality. That makes sense for humans. And here, raid Medicare to pay for socialism. Raid Medicare. Has he spoken with Paul Ryan, who's talked about more cuts to Medicare? They've already cut Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, all that stuff. They want to do much more of that. The Democrats, literally the ones that we're interested in, are running on Medicare for all.
Right.
Not raided Medicare, see you later, more of it. And as Dan, from the internet, pointed out earlier today, we've come full circle from keep your government hands off my Medicare. Like, I guess this is no stupider than that, but previously I had a higher level of expectations for politicians than for random people.
And to be honest with you, this is why I think that only a progressive candidate can actually be a challenge to Trump in 2020 and in 2018. Because why? You have to get someone who is unafraid to say, you are a populist Trojan horse. You've taken what people clearly in this country love, which is Medicare. All the polling shows it. And instead of actually delivering on expanding Medicare, or at least not cutting it, which you promised to do in your campaign, you actually put all the Republicans in power who have been gutting it. You've made reforms to Medicare. You've given Paul Ryan a blank check, and you're doing the exact opposite. And I think that only a progressive can be able to point that out and can actually, have an affront to that and say, yeah, no, I embrace democratic socialism, or call it socialism if you want to. Whereas I think, again, sorry to say, but like the Bidens of the world are not going to be able to counter that so clearly BS of an argument with sort of more of the same, like, well, it's not socialism. You're like, maybe it is.
Yeah,
maybe it is.
Well, and they will certainly have the fear that. So the question I wanted to ask you was, can we win the messaging war around socialism or democratic socialism, which you've gotten into? And I guess to win that, we have to be willing to engage in it.
Right.
And there are many politicians who are quite popular who will not engage in that war, who will cede so much territory as they have throughout their careers on some fundamental concepts that we need people to understand to push particular policies. And it's not like we shouldn't talk about it because at least the other side isn't talking about it. You can see at their rallies, they're losing their minds over these issues that they don't understand at all. And we need to fight back against that.
Right.
There is so little information about what socialism is. People's ideas of it are based on some other country's experience 50 years ago. And democratic socialism is so new that in terms of people's exposure to it, that most people have no idea what that actually is. That is why we need people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who've been lucky enough to break through into being on Hardball and The Daily Show and Stephen Colbert, to at least give a defense of it, an introduction to it. We so desperately need that, especially going into extremely consequential elections.
I just want to know what happened to like monster truck rallies. And this is not to be disparaging to Trump supporters, but like a little bit disparaging. But like you could just replace Trump with monster trucks. People want to yell. People want to yell. They want to be angry. Like what happened to wrestling? It exists still. Like go to a wrestling match. It's fun.
Yeah.
You can yell. You can hate someone. Like this is not entertainment. This is real life. This is your Medicare.
But but for them it's both really. So we've been talking recently about how people grow attached to certain messengers. So he has a message, Donald Trump, and he is effectively politically something of a contrarian in that if something makes rational, logical sense, he's gonna say the opposite of it.
I like how you said messengers rather than messengers.
Yeah,
because I feel like it makes more sense.
Well, he is delivering more of a personal message, I think,
right?
Rather than delivering it for someone else, which I consider to be a messenger. But in any event, we need to fight back against this. People like identity politics means whatever the person's saying it wants it to mean. But if you can look at that interaction and not see that as playing to some sort of white conservative identity, I don't know what you saw there. Clearly, Donald Trump, regardless of what he's talking about, if it's immigration, if it's the wall, if it's Hillary Clinton, whatever, there is a particular resentful, like entitled white identity that he is the avatar for.
Yep. Which, as I keep saying on your show, doesn't have to go away once you vote Trump out. You can still hang on to your fragile white identity. You can still.
I will.
Yes, you will. And listen, graft that onto someone else. We'll talk about it. We'll deal with it. But like, don't make him. He's not like your avatar.
Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notified of our new videos. And catch The Damage Report every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.